1. Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I'm so excited that you're here. We have great lighting for the moment. We're rocking it on a Thursday. I can't believe it. It's almost the weekend. Hello, Vicky. Welcome to all of those tuning in. Be sure to share this out. Drop it into the comments as much as you can because you get to be put on the screen. If this is your first time around, let me make sure that I properly introduce who we are, what we talk about. First, I'm going to jump into the show real quick to pin the comment. Perfect. See, lighting changes because of the outside. It's crazy. So welcome everyone jumping in. Hey, Paula. So how was your day? Let me know in the comments. But for those who are new, real quick, let me let you know how it works around here. Ed Talk TV is a talk show all about business, tech, and the user experience. We are, right, Vicky? So much better. So much better. You guys should see, side note, you should see my setup. I'm like literally angled. So I have a window, and then my light just to make sure it's there. So yes, anyway. So for those who are new, welcome. Jump into the comments. Don't be shy, even if you're watching the replay, because you still count even if you're watching the replay. I know many of you will watch this after the fact, and we still want you to comment. Why? Because that allows you to engage with everyone else, and it allows me to know who you are. Like, the first thing I want you to do, whether you're joining us live or on the replay, is to say hello and let us know who you are, right? There's Tammy, says hello, everyone. So that's the big thing that I want you to do around here, is make sure you engage. I can tell you guys right now that I love getting all of the comments, the notifications saying, hey, just checking out the replay, even if it's a few days later. Like, it doesn't have to happen right now. I want you to make sure that you utilize this space to really grow and to take the next step, right? If you're a watcher, great. I want you to now be a commenter. If you're a commenter, great. Now I want you to start sharing. If you're a sharer, then I want you to start coming on live with me. Yeah, that's right. You can become a guest on Ed Talk TV. In the pinned comment, it has a link for edtalktv.com where you can find out more about the show and become a guest. You can also check out the official hashtag, which is hashtag EdTalkTV. So if anything cool comes up during the broadcast, you can share that out. And if you want to be a part of my new Ed Talk, if you want to be part of my new Check with Ed monthly subscription, that is available there too. You can find out all about that. It's awesome, and I am sharing a lot in that community. So that is that. Paula says, busy day, working 9 to 5 and side hustles simultaneously. I love it because we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it today. So if you're tuning in, even if you're watching the replay, let us know if this is your situation. Let us know if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're trying to do a side hustle as well. We're going to be bringing on a guest here shortly. But first, we're going to talk about some random news. And in that case, I just have to share my screen. Before I actually get to random news, I want to share this cool post, which is just a random post I did on Instagram today. But almost instantly, I was asked if I could have it repost, if somebody could repost it, and they weren't a bot. And I had quite a few comments on it. So I wanted to share this with you because it created conversation, and I didn't even think about it. Like, literally, I sat there. Well, actually, I didn't sit there. Let me just show you. Let me go ahead and flip my screen here and bring it on over. Well, before I get there, Coach Glitter, shout outs to you, and happy National Margarita Day, everyone. Woo! Too bad we can't have one right now. Definitely would love to have one right now. But there's your National Margarita Day. If you're out celebrating, awesome. Hey, if you're checking us out while you're at the bars, great. Tell everyone we said hi. Fun fact, I actually thought about taking this show on the road and going to a local place and having a margarita, but there was just too much going on, and the weather wasn't that great. Yes, I love Coach Glitter too. We haven't talked in a while, but we see each other all the time on Instagram, and I met her on Periscope, so it's awesome. So let me show you this image right here. Already had 21 likes, which, that's great. I don't really care about the likes, but there was already a ton of comments here, including my follow-up ones. And I literally, you guys, today I didn't want to sit anymore because I'm not in my house, so I don't have my stand-up desk. And so I decided, you know what? I want to make something so that I can stand while working, because I just need to stand because I'm tired of sitting down. So I grabbed the books that were around, and these are all cookbooks, which I didn't know until after I took this picture. And I literally was in the middle of doing my editing, and I decided, let me just pop this up. Let me get this ready to go. Boom, done. Let me take a picture and share it with people, because that will be cool. And I didn't even think about anything else. You can see all I did was DIY stand-up desk and a couple quick hashtags. And then I had people ask instantly if they could repost this. And then I had people asking about like the books and saying that they enjoyed the books. Hey, Debbie, welcome. Yeah, so this was like a totally random post, you guys, that I had no intention of doing prior to posting. I didn't get fancy with it. And look, people loved it. They were going with the flow. They were having conversations. They enjoyed it, and they just went with it. So think about that when you're posting. It could be whatever. But when you're working, whether you're working your 9 to 5 or your side hustle, like you can just go through and just post a random thing. Like you don't have to have everything scheduled. You don't have to have everything perfect. Like all I did was put my phone, I have an iPhone, and I used the portrait mode option, and I took a picture here. So that way the background was a little blurred, and that's it. That's all I did. And I think I put a filter on it, and that called it a day. So that's part of random news. But the other part of random news I wanted to show you was, how about airing your dirty laundry? Anybody want to air their dirty laundry today? Well, Yahoo News shows us one woman did. Let's take a look. How would you feel if you were on a plane and you saw somebody holding up underwear and drying it for the vent, in front of the vent, while you were on the plane? That really takes it to a whole nother ball game there. So yeah, I don't know. You know, there's some of these passengers, like, I don't know if you guys follow, but I know on Instagram, I think they have a Facebook page. I can't remember. But there is a Instagram account all about like passengers behaving badly. And there's some of the stuff that they post, I'm like, no, like people, nobody's doing that on the plane. Like, I mean, I don't go on the plane that much, but I'm like, where are people like, they must be making this up. Like this can't be real. But some of them are real, because I have friends that are flight attendants and they've told me that. So yeah, it's nasty. As you guys said, yeah, ew, yikes, gross. Let me ask you, even if you're watching the replay, let me ask you, if you were on the plane and you were behind that person, would you say anything? Would you like tap them on the shoulder? Excuse me, that's disgusting. Can you stop doing that? Would you say anything? I'm just curious how many of you would say something. I honestly don't know what I would say, to be quite honest. I don't know. I'd be kind of a lot. Paula says, heck yes. Well, and I guess it's a good thing that it looks like hopefully they're kids' underwear. Like maybe the kid had an accident. I don't know. And that's the only pair until they get off the plane, you know. But still, it's nasty. So anyway, that was our random news. Shout out to all of you guys who are having a margarita or something similar or enjoyable. I have my water in a really just basic glass because I don't have my mug. So we can't have everything, okay? I'm good with the lighting. I'm good with you guys showing up and commenting and engaging. That's all we need, right? So today we're going to talk about side hustle. And what I mean by that, because that's kind of like a weird word, right? Side hustle. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me, even if you're watching the replay. How do you feel about the word side hustle? What does that make you feel inside when you hear that? While you do that, I'm going to look at the comments here. No, I'm no chicken, Vicky says. I would at least get a flight attendant, Tammy says. Yeah, flight attendant for sure. Although, if I was the flight attendant, I would just be cracking up in the back like, who the heck is this? Why are they doing that? Vicky, it's blowing around. You guys are hilarious. Oh boy. I'm gonna go back and see Paula's comment. Need a margarita, but I'm outside with daughter. Yep, I know. I need one too. It's been a weird day. There's been some things going on today, but we're here and we're rocking it. So I'm excited. So keep commenting, keep sharing, but let me know what you think about when you hear this word side hustle. And today we're gonna bring on a guest, a good friend of mine, who I've helped mentor, and we kind of just talked a lot about business and how she can, do something a little bit more. And I won't go too far in because I want to bring her on here in a second, but it's really cool because she reached out after seeing these episodes and said, can I be a guest on the show? I want to be a guest. And that's huge, you guys. Like, that's why I provide this platform. Well, I don't provide Facebook, but I provide this space for you guys to come on and share what you know, right? All you have to do is go to edtalktv.com and fill out the application. And the reason I do that is so that way I don't have people on here that are just straight up promo and like trying to sell something. Like, that's not the business, right? The business here is about sharing what you know and being able to teach others and engage with others, right? Side hustle to me means a con. Oh, I like that, Vicky. See, that's why I asked the question. So small handmade business sounds better than side hustle. Ooh, I like that. For those of you who are new, we have a lot of UK viewers, so we're international. Whoop, whoop. So just so you know, and then we have a lot of East Coasters too. So shout out to my East Coast. So anyway, when it comes to your side hustle, let us know how that makes you feel. Hey, Mickey. Prepping for, you have one at 5 today? Oh, nice. Yeah, we also have I have another training after this. So, welcome to those tuning in. Hello. We got the party people are all up in here. You guys were all out finishing your margarita, huh? Because today's National Margarita Day, and you guys had to finish your margarita before coming on here. I get it. And not sharing with the rest of us. I see how it is. Somebody should be putting a drink in the emoji drink in the comments. So anyway, where were we? So we'll bring on our guest here in a second, but really it's one of those things that you guys, you show up every day, right? And you deliver. You're doing it right now in the comments. You're connecting with each other. You're making it happen. That's what this space is about. And I'll tell you, I'll be straight up with you guys. There have been times, especially like yesterday when the tech really messes with me, that I may not get frustrated on camera, but I will let you know right now that after the camera stops, I get mad about it. It's stuff out of my hands, right? Like, I can't control Facebook, I can't control Skype, I can't control the internet connection, like all that stuff I can't do. But it is frustrating, and I'm sharing that with you guys because I want you to know that it's not just you. I want you to know that it's relatable, even to a techie like me, right? And so I want to express that, and part of that is that you just keep going with it, right? Like, you just make it happen. And that's the same with your business. Whether you're working a 9-to-5 or you're working a 9-to-5 and your side hustle, or your side hustle only, like, which no longer is a side hustle, it's just a small business, right? So your all that stuff plays a part in the same frustrations that others will have with, say, tech. And so the reason I'm bringing all this up is because I got some messages from you guys. Because when I'm feeling a little down and out or a little frustrated with that, I get reminded that this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what we're supposed to be doing. And a great example is yesterday and today, I got 2 separate messages from 2 separate people that told me specifically they got something out of my lives. So like they've shown up in the comments a little bit here and there, but they've actually took time out of their day to tell me specifically that an episode before, not yesterday or the day before, but just in general, made a difference to them. It is exactly what they needed to hear at the exact time, which I know a lot of you tuning in every day, that's the thing, right? Like, and I know, I think it was Mickey, we were just talking, like, she made 4 o'clock ed time, right? Like, she knows every day, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, she's meeting up with ed. And this is her ed time. This is her training time, right? Which is awesome. It's like, to me, that blows me away, you guys. And so that's why I do this and why I show up. I could easily just say, like, no, the tech's too crazy. It's not ready. Like, they're not ready for us, but we're still going to keep going because you guys are here and that's what it is. Like that's how it's going to go down. So anyway, I just had to let you guys know about that. Let me go ahead and ring our guests. I'm going to go ahead and plug in here. We're going to flip the screen. Let me give them a call while we flip over here. Doom, 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 doom. Fingers crossed, Tech will keep working with us. And soon we'll be able to see her face because she'll put on the camera. Hopefully, I can hear you. I can hear you. And let's see if you can get on the camera there, Roseanne.
I can hear you, but the camera is still not working again. Okay,
go ahead and I'm going to end the call and force quit your app and then reopen it. And soon we'll be able to. All right, so Roseanne, if you're still listening, you go ahead and turn down your volume as well on your computer, and then close Skype, and then we'll try you again. Just let me know when you're ready. In the meantime, this is what happens, right, guys? Let's just put me back on the screen here. Let me go back to the real screen there. Cool. I always feel really motivated after your lives. Thanks, Vicky. Like that, you guys, that means a lot because that's what motivates me to keep going. Like, to be honest, because I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Erica says force quit. That's what we learned yesterday, right? If you guys did not show up yesterday, that you missed the number one tech support solution that you'll get. And that is what Erica said. Force quit your app or your program. It seems to always work. 95% of the time. I'll be generous. Mostly probably 99, but we'll just say 95. Ed Talk TV gives me life. Oh, you guys are too good to me. I love it. Yes, there you go, Mindy. Perfect. Yeah, so, that's the kind of thing is that you guys show up and you're making time out of your day, whether it's live or if you're the replay viewer. It's all good too. Like if you're a replay viewer, that's fine. I get a lot of replay viewers. Let me also mention, while we wait for Roseanne to come back, let me also mention this. What's interesting is, Facebook's changed their algorithm. The reach has changed a lot. Now I'm starting to notice that in my own post here, which is also why you want to make sure to share broadcasts for people and comment, because that helps others discover it. But what I want to mention is that I noticed that, and this came to me yesterday, I don't know why, maybe it was just during the right time, right everything, but I was looking at my reach on one of my posts, and it was 209, I think, or something. And you tell me, if you saw that on your post, what would that make you feel? How would you feel, even if you're watching the replay? Before I tell you my feeling, if you saw that one of your posts got 209 reach, that's how many people it reached. What would that make you feel? And I'm going to read through the comments here just for a second, even though it's late here. Yeah, Vicky's in the UK and it's always late there, and she still shows up, even if she's got the earbuds in and fallen asleep in bed, right? Which is awesome. Like, you guys, that's crazy. So when I saw that 209 reach yesterday, I didn't feel down. I didn't feel like, this is like, I'm going to have to start paying for ads for people to find this. You know what I felt like? I felt like that 209 represented the specific audience that should be checking out the show, that is checking out the show. Mindy, yeah, I know it's changed a lot. Yeah, would be happy with 200 plus, right? So I'm telling you this because here's the thing, there is been a lot. Oh yeah. And, by the way, thank you, Vicky, for bringing up about boosted posts. So for those who are new, I don't do, at this point, at least, I have not done any paid ads and I don't do boosted posts. Like there might be a time and a place for that, but I don't do that. And so all of this is organic. It's because of you guys. It's because we all show up and we deliver and we engage. That's it. Like that's what we're doing and that's how we get these numbers, right? Mickey says, Ed, I'm launching Mondays with Mickey. I love that. That is cool. That is awesome. And I like the catchiness there. Mondays with Mickey. Get a cool intro. Music. So, Yeah, so I share that with you because let's say your reach, let's just throw a number out there. Let's say your reach is only 10. That can be discouraging, right? You can think, oh, I did all this work and it's only gotten to 10 people. But I want you to start thinking of it a little differently. And maybe this is just a little bit more hope, right? Yeah, Debbie, right? The right audience is so much more important than the numbers. Exactly. And that's how I felt instantly, you guys. Like when I saw that 209, I wasn't discouraged. I felt good about that. I was like, you know what? Facebook's doing me a favor. Like maybe I'm thinking a little too crazy here, but for me, Facebook is doing me a favor. They're putting me in front of the right people at the right time. And that's okay. Like, I'm good with that because here's the thing. I am going to bring Roseanne on in just a second here. I'm good with that because here's the thing, you guys. Remember, you only need one person. One. That's all to discover you and to take you to the next level, right? I mean, that's why you guys are here every day. It's just me. Well, sometimes you guys too because you're a guest, right? And obviously in the comments, but you know what I mean, is like you showed up for at least me and then it's bonus that you get everyone else, right? Like that's the big thing. So I want you to think about that when you start going live or when you start thinking about going live and then really understand that it's not about those numbers. It's about building the relationships and diving deeper with the people that you have around you, the people that are following you, because still word of mouth marketing is still number one. I think we just forget about that because we're distracted by Facebook ads, by Google ads, by whatever other ads. And yes, there's a time and a place for that, I'm sure, especially depending on your business. But really understand that's some other, that's over here. Let me know if I'm still here. Can you guys, I got your comments back, or am I still here? Am I still here? We were too good that Facebook is like, hold up. I got to make sure that we're still here. Let me call Roseanne and see. You are there. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Yes. All right, cool. We're going to try Roseanne again. Cool. All right. So, while Roseanne's getting that figured out, we're cutting in and out. Okay, cool. We're back. So here's the thing, you guys. Facebook was like, this dude is blowing up. He's telling these guys not to do Facebook ads. Like, we got to cut him. We got to like interrupt him. We want our money. For a sec. Okay, cool, Debbie. Yeah. So they were like, we have got to get this guy out of here. Roseanne, I'm going to quit. So still let me know if I'm still there because it's cutting in and out. It keeps freezing and standing. Yeah. You know what? Facebook had some issues yesterday. So I'm wondering if they're still having them today, obviously. But you guys are still here and it's buffering. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me. This is going to be bad for replay viewers because you're going to keep hearing me ask the same question, but that's okay. So if we're still there, let me see. I'm still here. And boom. See, and this is the thing. You guys, we had it all together and now Skype doesn't want to work. Skype? Yes, okay, cool. Thanks, Debbie. See, now you guys can see I'm under pressure again. I'm like, I thought I had everything working today. I thought we were good. And yeah, so we'll just keep going. Roseanne, stand by. I'm going to try to force quit the Skype app and we'll see. See, this is what we do. We just keep moving forward and we keep talking. Cool. Let me force quit Skype there. So anyway, that's what I want you guys to understand is that you really don't want to focus on those numbers. Yes, they're great to have as a guide, but don't like let that drive you. Like don't let that Roseanne back on the line, but we keep going in and out on Facebook Live. So maybe we'll just do audio with Roseanne. I can hear you, Roseanne. Can you hear me? Oh, you guys, this is good. This is real good. Yeah. This is how the show goes. No, we know that sound. That sound is all bad. Did I lose you guys? Because I feel like I lost you. And then everyone's going to watch the replay and be like, this dude does not have a clue of what he's doing. This guy, his lives are always a hot mess. Like, no, you guys, even if you're watching, if this is coming through, Paula, cool, thank you. Yes, okay, cool. Everyone's like, I'm here. I love it. I see, and that's the thing. I'm glad that you guys know, like, this is just how it goes. You know, if somebody new comes around here, they're going to be like, this guy is wasting my time because I have things to do and his show is messing up. But it's out of our hands. So it is what it is. Let's see if I can try calling back. Right? Come on, Facebook. Let's do it. All right. So let's see if I can get my camera to work. And Roseanne, see if your camera will work. If not, yeah, exactly. You cannot control technology. I love that. So, you know what? We have a backup plan because I always have a backup plan. Roseanne, give me a second. I'm going to get you something. And then we're going to do this here. We are going to do this. Yes, Ed knows what he's doing most of the time. So let me go ahead and get this link over to Roseanne. Copy link. Roseanne, I'm going to hit you up on iMessage because we're just cool like that. Most people don't have iMessage with me, so FYI. But that is, let me know in the comments if you guys have experienced tech glitches recently while I get this going. So Roseanne, you can check that and click on that and you will be set to go. Boom. So this is what we do, you guys. We make it happen. Don't be hard on yourself, Ed. I know. I'm really hard on myself, you guys. It's like, it's one of those things that it kills me when stuff like this happens when I'm live because I don't want to lose you guys. I want to make sure that, you know, we're here. We're good. So while we wait for Roseanne to click on that, side hustle. It's such a negative word, I think, big time for a lot of people. And it's interesting because that's the most marketed term, right? Everywhere you go, everyone's talking about their side hustle. And I try to not use that word because I know that a lot of people don't like that. But it is one of those things that people use and is heavily marketed. So when it comes to working a 9-to-5, you guys tell me if you're working a 9-to-5, even if you're watching the replay, let me know what struggles do you face as a 9-to-5er trying to do something on the side. What challenges are you facing? What comes up for you for there? And then while we do that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over. All right, give me 1 second, Roseanne. While you guys are doing that, we are going to do this. Boom, you guys, boom. You're welcome. So before I let Roseanne jump in a second, just to let you guys know, this is how we handle tech. I don't have the fancy, banner underneath, but we're good. We all know, and we want the content. That's what we're here. So Roseanne, can you guys hear me? Okay. You guys probably hear me, but you won't be able to hear her. So let me get that undone. And Roseanne, I want you to pop in and, well, you're already here, but let people know who you are. Like, what do you do and all of that. Can you hear me? And you can go live, or you can speak now.
I'm frozen.
Oh.
I can see myself, but I'm not moving.
You're moving on our end, so you're good. You're good. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone because we can hear you and we can see you being goofy. And turn down your volume on the Facebook Live.
Okay, well then I'm going to just talk like I normally would.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm such a goof, I know. Hi, guys. My name's Roseanne.
And Roseanne, so you guys, because we're using two different platforms right now to stream this, there is going to be a delay. So bear with us. But Roseanne, give us a little of your background. Like, who is Roseanne? Like, what do you do? Unplug your headphones. See if that works. Like unplug them all the way from your computer.
So I do a couple things.
There you go.
I've worked for. Can you guys hear me?
Yep. You're good.
So do a couple things. I've worked.
Turn off your Facebook Live. And then you should be able to just speak. You guys, isn't this hilarious?
This is fun. I'm like looking at myself in 3 different areas.
Okay, so now we can hear you, so go ahead. Introduce yourself.
All right, guys. So my name's Roseanne. How's everybody doing today? Hope you all are doing good. And thank you for that awesome introduction. That took long enough, but hey, can't control technology, right? So a little bit about me. First off, Ed and I have been friends for almost 5+ years. We used to work together, and he is probably the only person outside of work that I used to work with that I'm still friends with. I don't have too many work-related friends from over the years, so he's definitely one of them. But we both worked for Apple. I still work for Apple. And then I also work as a group fitness instructor. I've been an instructor for almost 13, 14 years now. So going on year 15. And I know that Ed, titled this broadcast as working a 9 to 5 and then having a side hustle. So, I always feel weird saying side hustle, but I work full time, but then also I teach on the side, which is essentially my side hustle. And that has always been like more of a hobby, if anything. It's more just fun. It's not really like a job to me. Yes, it is a job. I do get paid for it. I have to clock in. I'm on a payroll, and I gotta, go through all certain policies, procedures, and protocol like anybody else who works at a company. But it's always been my passion for at least, past 12, 13 years. I've come from a background of somebody who had a lot of health and wellness issues in the past. So working out became my outlet. Somebody encouraged me to better myself, and then encouraged me to be an instructor. So I chose to pay that forward and become an instructor and do exactly what those people actually did for me. And that was encourage me to be an instructor, regardless of background, regardless of capability, anything. And I started doing that when I was 21.
Yeah.
How's our connection? Our connection's kind of funny.
Oh my goodness, you guys, who now needs a drink? Because I swear, notifications were turned off, and you guys just got a glimpse of my inbox, which thankfully there was no information there, but, it happens. And did you see I only had 2 emails? Yeah, in my inbox. That's how we roll. But, yeah, so it's interesting. What I want, because we're going to be limited on time today with all this tech stuff, what I want to know is, you're working a 9 to 5, like many people here. Shout outs to those who are watching and replay viewers as well. Be sure to let us know in the comments if you have any questions or if you can relate to things like this. But working a 9 to 5, and specifically in retail, how has that affected whatever time you have available outside? Because you have the retail, you're in retail, then you also have the fitness thing going on, and then whatever free time you have, people are in that same part. So how, Vicky says, I don't really drink, but boy, I need one now.
Yeah, I need about one now too.
So how does
that's
that
a
work?
great question. I will not lie, it is hard. It is hard, and I'm somebody that's very strategic. I always have a to-do list. I have a planner. I'm always trying to squeeze every last thing in as possible.
Yes.
And in essence, I don't cut myself a lot of slack. So relaxing sometimes is like, what's relaxing? So, but it's also one of those things where you just kind of do it. You just kind of learn by trial and error. And you know what? Some days I don't want to get up at 6 a.m. to go work out before I go work at 9. Sometimes I just want to sleep. Or sometimes I'll get up at 6 a.m. and do all the administrative things on my computer before I go to work.
Right.
When really I don't want to do that. But I kind of, what's the payoff? I do it now. Do I do it later? Do I give myself free time here or here? And then, of course, being an instructor, yes, it's amazingly fun. I enjoy doing it, but it also does take work on the side. That includes education. That includes building music profiles. That includes practicing choreography. That can take up a couple hours a week. And then, of course, learning and then and executing it, knowing it, and then going into different facilities, different people, different personalities, different class sizes, different dynamics,
Sure.
And then learning to appeal to a broad range of people. But it can definitely be a challenge, and I've always been, somebody who's a go person, so it's already in my blood. It's ingrained in me. But it is a challenge, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing enough, or I'm disappointing somebody else because I choose to do X and I want to do Y, Z. So it can definitely be a challenge, and sometimes it's also very easy to let that part of my life slack off a little bit sometimes.
Oh, sure.
Or maybe choosing tonight I'm going to relax and I'm not going to work on my choreography,
Right.
even though I have a class in the morning or in 3 days. But then I'm going to wake up early and I'm going to practice in the morning before I go teach my class.
Yeah.
So there's always a trade-off, I think, at least in my experience. But I would like to believe I'm pretty efficient in how I use my time. My friends, my family are the most important thing to me. So I try to create an equal balance for myself,
Right.
but then also I'm 100% guilty of not taking time for myself sometimes.
Yeah.
So then I'm focusing mostly on going to work, focusing on my fitness stuff, and then other, the daily life tasks, errands, going grocery shopping, going to the bank, sending
sure.
emails, and then figuring out when I can do all those things in between.
Yeah, and so that, how many of you, raise your hand, feel the same way, right? Especially those who have a 9 to 5, even if you're watching the replay. That's the important part, right? Is that you have your job, your day job, which some of you, that may be a night job, but you know what I'm saying. And then you have now your other job, which is the fitness, which is kind of like your side business, but it's not your business. So it's just a part-time job. So then what motivates you to want to do something more? Because that's a lot on your plate. So what's motivating you to want to do something more?
Only just because sometimes I reach what I feel is a small demographic based on the places I teach, and then the same repeat people that I see every week. And then there's a given population of people who like certain formats at the gym. So I only reach a certain group of people. My social media presence is, average. I have been a distributor for 2 fitness-based companies where I attempted to create a side business, but then, of course, maybe I overwhelmed myself, and of course I found myself letting go of those side businesses because I no longer believed in the product. I didn't believe in the mission of the company, but then also I doubted myself and thought, do I have the ability to have something like this in addition to wanting to be a good friend, wanting to be a good daughter, a good girlfriend, work my job full time and do a good job at it, and then do a good job at teaching, and not letting those things start to decline because I added this third variable. And eventually, yes, that side business, those 2-3 attempts I made, got pushed to the side. I declined them and moved on and did not pursue that any farther. But yet there's still a part of me that has been trying to find something I can do from home.
Sure.
That doesn't require necessarily for me to be physically present and go in somewhere. So I'm always up for the exploration to find something that I could do. But then also the teaching, and I've had this experience for over 13 years, is I've taught at a bunch of different places. I've gained classes, I've lost classes due to numbers. My lifestyle changed and I could no longer accommodate. But then I've also been with 2 facilities, one for almost 13 years and one for almost 6 years. And I've maintained my status and relatively kept the same level of teaching with both places. Nice. But if I were to add, that might be a little too much.
Sure.
But the only way.
But I want to dive in just a little deeper to and we don't have to talk about the actual, the companies or anything like that. But what I want to know a little bit more, because I know a lot of people watching this are going to feel the struggle and the challenges. I want to dive in a little bit more about that with you when it comes to those companies that you had to give up, that side business that you had to finally say no to. Because we talked a lot about that before you said no, and I think that's valuable for the people watching this. You guys let me know if you're still live. Feel free to let us know in the comments. If you're watching the replay, let us know as well. But when you were debating that decision, like, how did you feel? Like, what went on during that time when you were thinking, is this right for me? Do I say no to this? Like, what did you feel during that time?
I began to feel very overwhelmed. One of those places required a lot of social media presence. By default, I am not the biggest social media presence out there, or at least it required so much effort in social media that I think I was truly not ready or equipped or even willing to actually do the legwork to get there. And at least for what I felt I was posting, I wasn't getting the results that I desired. And of course, yes, having a side business, you got to put in some legwork to get the payoff. But I think for me, considering all the other life variables and just not having the level of commitment that the people I was working with felt I should have, I just started to sense, okay, I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm not seeing any return on anything. And then also values, personal mission of that company. And then of course, just realizing that it's okay. If I have to say no, it's totally fine. I mean, I'm a person who prides myself on completing everything that I start. So yes, I got down with myself and of course told myself, no, you can't quit. You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. But then I felt other things started to suffer and I just thought maybe this is the time and this is telling me I'm not in the space to take on this type of side business.
Right, which is important, you guys, even if you're watching the replay, that's important to understand that you have to have that conversation with yourself. You have to know when it's right and when it's not. And if it's not, then you have to go through and move forward with something else. You have to be okay with that. Tying into this, some of you have heard this before, but my first business was a magazine that I started and ran for 2 years. It was fantastic. It was awesome. It wasn't making me money, which is not why I had to close it. I mean, that was part of it because I didn't want to be spending the money. But if it could have sustained itself, I would have totally kept it going. But it did what it needed to do for me. It got me to the next step. And I had to have that conversation with myself of, it's time. I need to close this up, put everything in a box. And if I ever need to come back to it, I can. But it's not, the time is up. I need to keep moving forward. And that's exactly what you did with that business as well. Because I know that business was costing you money and your heart wasn't there. And how many of us know, even watching this as a replay, how many of us know that if you're not passionate about it, then you're not going to be into it as much, and you're not going to want to show up. You're not going to want to deliver, and you're not going to want to engage. Unless, of course, maybe you're getting a ton of money, but then even then, it's not going to last very long. Like, that's just...
Well, and I wasn't able to really showcase any talents that I have. I have a need for creativity, and it was more me showcasing my talents, but under somebody else's umbrella of what you're supposed to do to get, get customers in, in your, kind of in your bucket. And that just was not for me. And, thankfully I had a good relationship with the people I worked with, and they just said, cool, that it's not for everyone. If you want to come back, you can come back. And I kind of just left it at that and felt peaceful about my decision, and knew that there's an opportunity to come back if I absolutely wanted to. But I think the thing for me was, I know I want to help people, but how?
Right.
At least in a fitness, standpoint, how can I help people? And this would take an entire hour for me to tell my life story about how others, helped me in my history with health and wellness, becoming an instructor, and everything I've gone through personally. And then just learning, how the body works and how people relate to fitness, who does it, who doesn't.
Right.
So for me, it's more of a deeper feeling of wanting to do something that's meaningful to me, is meaningful to others. And in this case, those two other places, and I just did not align in that sense.
And now let me ask you, because we're getting close on time, and I want to make sure we get to it, is what are you doing now? What kind of steps or feelings are you going through right now to try to figure out what that thing is next? What's coming next? Like, can you give us a little insight on that? Because I know that's what a lot of people are probably feeling if they're working a 9 to 5.
Well, one of the things for me, and after 13 years of being kind of in the industry, as an example, I just got my primary group fitness certification, which that was almost 8+ years in the making. I just told myself, I need to do it. I need to do it. And for those of you who don't know what that is, a primary group certification is just a national recognized certification with the basic fundamentals of group exercise. So I'm a certified group fitness instructor through the National Association of Fitness Certifications, NAFC. And then, of course, I have a couple certifications from different companies. And in my case, education is important when you're an instructor. Education, education, education. So for me, kind of learning more about my interests requires me to put my best foot forward, take the initiative, and that includes reading, that includes listening to podcasts, that includes going to trainings, reading, and researching more and understanding. And that's part of having a group fitness certification, is you are required to educate yourself to earn credits in order so you can renew and not have to retest. So educating, that's where I'm at to try to kind of find out what is the next step.
And that's huge, right? That's what we talk about here on the show all the time, you guys, is you have to educate yourself. So even if you're working a 9 to 5, you still can make a little bit of time to reach out and find something to educate yourself with. Like Roseanne said, podcasts, book, Google search, like talking to people, asking people, finding a mentor. There's free resources. So even if you can't afford to work with somebody, there's free resources. You can go through score.org. That's a small business organization that will help you for free. I've done that plenty of times when I've needed some advice for certain things. They're all over the place. And you can go to people's blog posts, to people's audio files, their podcasts, but also like just random audios that they have. Like, you have the tools and the resources right here. You're watching me on them. You have them in your hands. And even though you're so busy, you just have to make time for it. And I know that's easy to be easier said than done, but like, literally put in even 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And that could mean, you guys, I know this is going to be like, this is airing out the dirty laundry all over again, right? But that could mean literally, and it's so funny because Gary Vee talks about this, at least the last time I saw one of his episodes. I don't know if he talks about it all the time, but I've been paying attention to him more because some people have called me the clean version of Gary Vee, which I think is funny because I don't swear as much as he does. But anyway, I literally, as I'm walking down the hallway, you guys, I don't know if you can see this. So as I'm walking down the hallway to get from one thing to another, I'm answering emails. I'm texting somebody. I'm voice messaging somebody. Like, I'm doing that. If I'm going to the bathroom, hate to say it, but if I'm going to the bathroom, sometimes I just got to answer that call. Not call. I shouldn't say call because we don't really go on the phone at that time. That's not a phone call, but a texting or whatever. Like, literally, you just utilize the time. And I know that might sound gross or whatever, but like, listen, you get the business done when you need to get it done. Like,
guess what? And I don't care if this is a live post. I have texted people from the bathroom while sitting on the John.
Yep.
I don't care. Just because sometimes, honestly, and this is just how my kooky little brain works, is sometimes I have such a packed day and I have 1 hour. I will cram as much things into that hour that I can mark off my to-do list. So I personally feel better at the end of the day knowing I did X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And if that means I got to do it while I sit on the toilet, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's me.
You have to utilize the time that you have, right? And I know I have a lot of parents on here. I have a lot of people that are running from one thing to another. But you just do it, right? You can get a lot of work done in there. Exactly, Whitney. Like, yeah, there can be a lot of work done. You know, you're multitasking and you get everything done. And Vicky, yes, ideas come to you when you're in the bathroom. That's a big one. Did you guys know, I haven't looked at these yet, but I was told by my mentor that I had at SCORE, she had mentioned that they have what's called aqua pads. So you can actually get a notepad for the shower. And I haven't looked at them yet. I need to look back at them. But yeah, you can have aqua pads. So that way you can have a whiteboard basically in your shower. But that's what you want to think about is, like, if you know you don't have time, you need to then sit down. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys homework. I know. We're almost out of time. I'll prepare you guys. We're almost out of time. Let me let Roseanne just wrap it up here, and then we'll switch back over and we'll get you your homework so you guys can prepare. So any other last words, Roseanne, before I let you go?
No, that was totally awesome. Thank you so much for letting me come on. I know we didn't go super into depth, but if there is anybody out there, listening, I believe it's all doable on some level or another. I'm guilty of not taking my own advice, and I feel like a lot of things I've done has been by a lot of trial and error, but I'm still here. I still have a full-time job. I'm still able to go teach, and I'm able to sub and supplement my income and my time and teach because I enjoy doing it. I mean, I do it if it was free, but hey, it also helps pay my bills. So for me, I would say if anybody's out there trying to figure it out and trying to find something, they can do on the side, it's totally doable. I think a lot of it, for me at least, is going to be just kind of finding a little bit more about my passion points and something that's going to actually work for me. And until then, I just got to make time to figure it out.
I love it. Thank you so much. Feel free to pop into the comments and connect with people. I'm going to pop over or let you go and pop it back over to me, and have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Bye.
All right. So, you guys, how cool is that? So that's how it goes, with being able to figure out what time you can utilize there. And the homework I want to give you, because we have to have some kind of homework, right? Like, that's the whole point of learning, is I want you to understand, like, if you know, like, you don't have any time, like, you're like, Ed, dude, you don't understand. I don't have any time. Well, then you need to go to the bathroom and chill out for a second and start writing down why you don't have time. Like literally, if that's the only place in your house that you can go to, or at the convenience store or at the mall or whatever, like whatever it is, like get to a place where you can embrace that silence, but we're going to slightly change it up a little bit. We talked about embracing the silence a few days ago if you're new around here. But I want you to make sure that you go to a special place. How corny is that? And you go ahead and write out your day. I want you to schedule out your day for every 30 minutes. Because I don't do the minute thing, and 15 minutes is kind of hard. But when I literally did this and I used a spreadsheet, I know spreadsheet, but you can do it whatever. You can just write it down on paper. But literally mark out everything you do all day long. Yes, Mindy, the car in the garage is the best. I don't know if you heard me the other day, but that's actually one of my spots too. I don't have kids, but as you probably saw in the background, one of the dogs was there. So when I go into the car, that's like my hiding spot because they can't come because there's a door and then there's another door. So I'm good. But what you want to do is you want to literally write down everything you do. I know it sounds crazy. You feel like a crazy person, but I will tell you it makes a world of a difference. You write down everything you do from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed in 30-minute blocks. And then from there, you figure out where you can make time. And now here is a bonus tip, because I want to give you a bonus tip here. I want you to give yourself at least a 15-minute to 30-minute, but usually 15 minutes is enough, buffer time. What that means is you're writing down your travel time. So if you got to go to work, you write down the average commute time from the minute you leave your house to the minute you get into that office. Like if that takes you an hour, then it's an hour and 15 on your spreadsheet. If you're going to the gym and it only takes you 15 minutes to get to there, then it's 30 minutes. Like you need to have that buffer time. Can you tell me why? Even if you're watching the replay, can you tell me why before I let you go? Because that is the key, is not only mapping everything out so you can visually see where the holes are, but to also include those buffer times. Because what do? Roseanne talked about it. We always go through and we add as much as we can to our day. We cram as much as possible, and then we beat ourselves up because we can't get to it all. We just can't. And then things suffer, whether it's relationships or our education, like whatever it is, something's going to suffer. So don't let that be your education. Don't let that be your relationships, right? Like write everything down, analyze it. It's not all going to come together at once. It's not going to all like snap, like you go do the homework tonight and you're going to be like, ha, like Ed was right. Like that might happen, but chances are it's going to take you a few days to really like look at it and understand it and make some adjustments, because it's not an overnight thing. Like it takes time for this. And like you heard, Roseanne has been doing, she got her certification after doing 8 years worth of work. So if you're just now starting your business on the side, or if you have your whole business as your thing, like you don't have a 9-to-5, understand that it takes time. Even, relating back to Gary Vee, I heard one of his interviews the other day. He, was it 8 or 10 years? I think it was the first 8 years. Don't quote me on this because I don't want to mess it up, but it was either 8 or 10 years before he was able to even hire somebody. He was doing everything on his own for that long. Like, what we see now is like, whoa, this guy's everywhere. He's doing all these things. Like, it's crazy, yada, yada. But he's done the work prior. Like, that's what we don't realize. That's what we don't remember, right? So understand that and write that down. So I'm going to let you guys go because I have a training to get to. I'll pop into the comments as much as I can in between. But have a great day. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Be back here tomorrow, same time, same. This episode is sponsored by Stupid Easy. Easily create, share, and sell your online courses. Discover more at stupideasy.com.